Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco Dish Out on Movies, the only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. And it's just Marco here once again. I am here to review Masterchef Season 12, Episodes 1 and 2. And first off, I wasn't really gonna watch this season because I wasn't really sure if I would be invested in the chefs there, since a lot of them I don't know because I haven't seen all the seasons of MasterChef. I think the only seasons I've seen are seasons 4, 9, and 10. I think those are the only full seasons I've seen, and I keep on not wanting to watch it and then wanting to watch it based off of decisions that the judges make. So I really wasn't planning on watching this season because these types of seasons, they're designed to make you want to root for people that you've seen in the past, or go against people that you hate in the past. Like in Hell's Kitchen, they did a season like this where they brought back this girl who was a bully, a huge bully, and I actually kind of liked her for most of the season, but then I kind of hated her at the same time. And so it's a very different experience. However, with the good amount of views that MasterChef Junior reviews get, I decided it's probably a good idea to just fill up another time slot in the week with another TV show. And it is fun to watch these cooking shows, even if you don't agree with the judging decisions. It's fun to see people compete and make these creative dishes, things that you wouldn't think about making yourself because you don't because you don't have the time, you don't have, or you don't have the motivation to want to make this complex science experiment of a dish. Like I saw one dish this episode from a contestant that I really liked, and it looked pretty bizarre. I mean, I was pretty taken back by how bizarre it was. It was like a it was like something the Riddler would make, and then you'd open it up and it would have a riddle inside for Batman, and it would be like, "Oh, this makes sense. You weren't supposed to eat this dish," and it's put together by someone like the Riddler who he just came up with this dish in like an analytical way without really thinking about how it would taste. Uh, and I will talk about that. So, anyways, with the first episode, and another problem is that I'm going to seem like a poor reviewer because I can't remember a lot of the names because I don't know a lot of these people. But they did do a season 9 showdown in the first episode, and I was happy to see all those contestants back. It just reminded me of how season 9 had a lot of great contestants. I don't think there I think there might have been like two or three contestants I didn't like, and then the rest of them I really liked. And in particular, I really did like Emily, and so I was glad to see her come back. And I thought she was like a pretty tough cook, and I was really disappointed when she went home. So I was glad that she got in, and I also liked that Shanika got in too, because they have their little rivalry on the show, I guess you could say. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with them. I can't remember any standout dishes really because I've just been watching so many cooking show episodes recently that I can't. I have to do these reviews like right after I watch something, or else I'm just gonna completely black out and forget. Like, oh yeah, that guy, he made the steak with the fritter paste on top and the sprinkles of dillweed. Like, I don't know. Like, who knows? But with this episode 2, we have another audition episode. And episode 3 is going to be another audition episode. And that's something else to talk about, is that only in this season would I accept 3 audition episodes as something that I'm excited about, because it is fun to see these mini showdowns where we see these contestants who You know, they're all from different places, and you want to see like which one of them wins. It's kind of like with superheroes. What if Superman fought Batman? What if Spider-Man fought Wolverine? You know, it's kind of like that when with watching these contestants face off against each other. And something else that I noticed that was very interesting was that a lot of the master chefs from the different seasons, they were all pretty not friendly towards each other. They were all like, I don't know, like they seemed like they were like in their own little worlds. But then at the end of this episode where they showed the MasterChef Junior contestants facing off, it seemed like they could have all worked together as a team almost, because they were all pretty friendly towards each other, and they were pretty nice to each other. And so I thought that that was weird, because you'd think that the older people would be a lot more nicer and more mature, but it seemed like they were a lot more self-centered, and the MasterChef Junior contestants were more uh, amenable, I guess. I don't know what word to describe. So first off, what was the first? That's so many contestants. What was the first one? Oh yeah, the first group of people, I automatically knew that Tommy was probably definitely gonna make it through, and I think that's something else that I have a problem with these MasterChef shows, is that once you watch a lot of their shows, you can start to predict their decisions, and you can start to predict everything that's going to happen based off of everyone's actions. And they have this little fake out in this face off where they say, now for the second apron, I want the person who's worthy of the apron to step forward and take it. And Tommy stepped forward, and Gordon says, no, you're not the one. And then it goes to the advertisements, you know, the 10-minute advertisements of things that I don't give a flying fuck about. Like fucking Miss Marvel. Who gives a fuck about fucking Miss fucking Marvel? Okay? Fuck off with that stupid ass fucking shit. Okay? And then we get back there to MasterChef, and immediately after that, oh, it's a joke. It's a joke. No, you really are the deserving one. You know, like it's a fake out. Like what a stupid, dumb. Like ugh, that was so stupid. I really hated that. I thought that that was a terrible thing to do, to get the hopes up of the other chefs that were there. And I thought it was so stupid because I mean everyone, if I challenge anyone to comment and tell me that they didn't think that Tommy was going to get into the show. So I thought that that was a complete waste of time. And I really didn't like that. I thought that that was really queer. Now, I also really liked seeing Micah back, because he is one of the few MasterChef contestants where I followed him ever since his season, because you saw him and you saw the problems that he had, and he was a very identifiable character that you could look at and you could say, "Oh, I really hope that he wins." Because when you watch MasterChef, you don't want to watch a bunch of these tight ass professional chefs cook. Like, I really don't. That's Hell's Kitchen. That's a lot of these other shows. I want to see home cooks with passion, who want to win for personal reasons, who are just trying to like Rocky, you know, like Rocky Balboa. I don't want to see Apollo Creed cooking MasterChef. Okay, uh, so Micah was a very identifiable person, and in his season, there was an episode where it was probably the worst. It might be the worst MasterChef episode I've ever seen, and they sabotaged him, and I think that they felt bad for doing that, and making that horrible episode. I mean, they could have done so many things, so many easy and simple things to fix that situation, and instead they just chose to let it be this horribly tragic and dramatic, horrible moment, horrible episode, and then he completely crumbled, predictively, because who wouldn't in that situation? I mean, seriously, who wouldn't? I guarantee if Gordon was the same age as him and had the same situation, he would have crumbled as well. Guarantee. So I really like that they brought him back. I was surprised because if I had reviewed the first episode, I was ready to complain that they didn't bring him back because they brought back other people from that season and to bring back those people, but not to bring back him, who's, he's pretty deserving of a chance, another chance, based on what happened that season. But unfortunately, he is the one who made the bizarre dish. I mean, it was like fritters on top of chocolate soil and shit. I was like, what the fuck? Like, this kid, like, he has the golden ticket. He has the audience's sympathy. He has his best friend there, so he has someone there to support him. Unlike in MasterChef regular, he has all the judges on his side, ready to give him an apron because they feel bad about screwing him over. And instead, he makes this really bizarre dish that just completely. I was like, what the hell is that? Like, like it was just the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I mean, it might have tasted good, but man, it was really weird. It came off like he was trying too hard to impress them. Like he was really reaching to the bottom of the barrel. Like, what should I do on MasterChef? Oh, chocolate soil. Like, you might as well get some real soil and put it up on the plate and just pretend like, ooh, this is next level cooking. Wacha! There's some dirt and sand and a piece of bologna on top of it, and it's a medium rare piece of bologna, too. And so obviously he didn't get an apron, and that was pretty sad, but I was completely understanding of why he didn't, unlike the last time where he got screwed over. His fritters were raw, and so that, that's fine. Like, he didn't deserve an apron, obviously, because of that mistake. After that, I think they did this really fast paced round where they didn't really show things very much. It was very skimmed through. I can't remember if there were two more rounds or just three more. I can't remember. Uh, but they have this round with Bowen from, I think, season. I can't remember specific seasons, and I was really glad to see him come back because he was a really good contestant, and he was very nice, and he was a very good contestant in terms of he had a good story and he was a good character to root for, and his food always looks really good. And I have to say, like, the majority of the food this episode looked really, really good. Like, I really wanted to eat that shrimp from the first round, and I really wanted to eat like the fish from the first round, and oh, the food, it just looks so good, and oh, and then Bowen got it, so I was glad to see him get it. Oh yeah, and then there's Michael, and that was another bizarre turn of events. Oh yeah, Michael, and then the blonde military interrogator. Uh, they were in a round together, I believe. I can't remember. My mind is just, it is going all over the place. All over the place. Like when you toss a pizza dough up in the air, that's what my mind is like right now. So let's just like talk about those two contestants and like just shove everything else to the side. The military interrogator, she did not get an apron. And that's fine because in her season she was really overrated and she did not deserve to get second place at all. But the thing is that she's nice and I like her as well. But I do have to say that one of the other things that I found interesting was there were certain chefs like her, and it seems like when they're in these competitions, and I think that she's a good cook. Like, if I was a celebrity, I would hire her as a personal chef. So I'm not saying like I don't think she's a good cook. I'm just saying in a competition setting, I think that she has these flaws that stick out like a sore thumb, and so that's why I was confused why she was in the finale. Uh, and she has these flaws that it seems like she still has them. And there were a lot of other contestants in the past episode, in the first episode, like the Italian woman. Unfortunately, I really liked her as well. It seemed like they still have the same flaws, and I thought that that was really kind of funny how even though it's years later, they still have these flaws that can kind of set them back if they make a mistake. Like you can overcome your flaws, but it seems like with these certain chefs, if they make a mistake, these flaws are gonna stick out and really make them look bad. And with her, I mean, I don't care. I mean, if she had won the season, I mean, I would still be happy because that finale, was that the finale, that fucking finale where they took away that college kid before he could even fucking make dessert? Oh, don't even get me started on that one. Ugh. Oh god, that pisses me off. I don't even want to think about that anymore. But speaking of things that piss me off, another thing that I liked about this episode and the first episode was that I saw these chefs in a different light slightly, and the main one who I saw in a different light was Michael, because I really didn't think anything of him in the season that he was in. I thought he was like a B minus chef, and I really thought like, who cares? Like he's just like a throwaway contestant, like he could go away episode one, and I don't care. But in this episode, he really impressed me with that dish, and I think actually we were all taken back, the audience and the judges, by how good he was. So I really like that. The fact that now, oh, I can go back, I can watch that other season, and I can say, that's the awesome chef in the Back to Win season. And that's another thing I love about the Back to Win season is that it's always good to have a feeling that you can redeem yourself and overcome past failures. And so that's what I like about this season in particular so far is that it has like a positive feeling that a lot of the other MasterChef seasons don't have, because a lot of these people, they've all come to terms with losing. You know, they might pretend on the camera like, I think about it every day. When I wake up in the morning and I make my eggs Benedict with creme fraiche, I think about losing MasterChef. And it's like, bullshit. You wake up in the morning and you make your fucking breakfast and eat it while you sit there listening to some cherry lo-fi tunes or something on YouTube. Like, you don't give a flying F that you didn't win MasterChef anymore. Like, you might think about it once in a while, but if you're thinking about it all the time, then, oh, I don't know. But it seems like they've all matured. They've come to terms with losing, and so it's a positive season. It's a positive journey to see them want to come back and win again. And you know they're not even really that disappointed when they lose. A lot of them. A lot of them are very mature about it, and so I like that too. You know, it's always really sad to see these sad contestants be really sad, especially these juniors where they just cry. they just sit there, they just stand there and cry. And I've been watching season 2, and in the first episode, this little girl cries, and the entire fucking kitchen of contestants have to come over and comfort her. And it's like, wow, that's really sad. That's really, really sad to watch. And you have these adults, and it's like, oh, thank God that none of them are crying and really upset, because that would be hard to watch. Uh, yeah. And then you have the finale of this episode. I give both episodes a B plus. I am very excited about the season based off of these contestants. There's a lot of contestants that I personally like. And usually on these MasterChef seasons, I'll like 2 contestants and I'll hate everyone else. Or I'll like 2 contestants and think everyone else is overrated, which is the majority of the time. So in the final competition, you have one guy who I didn't even know. I've never seen season 4 Junior before, and funnily enough, I just got done reviewing season 1, and now we get to see Dara again. And at least she wasn't wearing a plastic bow. But the unfortunate thing was her mom and her boyfriend were wearing plastic bows. That was I don't know. I don't know if they're doing that as a joke or what, but I mean, her boyfriend came down and he's like giving her a hug, and he's got this fucking girlish plastic bow on his head. I really hope that was just a joke for this episode. But that was really bad. That was really, really bad. But it was actually nice seeing her again, because it's nice to see how she's grown and how she has changed. She seems a lot different. She doesn't seem as quiet and kind of bitchy. Like when she was a MasterChef Junior, she was kind of a bitch. She was kind of like this know-it-all, spoiled brat persona, and I didn't want her to win at all. But now it seems like she's a lot more tempered and a lot more mature, and I can't wait to see her compete more, because it would be nice to see her win, or to see Shane the Train win, because we also got to see Shane again from season 5. That was shocking, because when I saw him in the trailer, I kind of thought that was the kid from season 7 who put all the spices, put the kitchen sink in his burger. That kid in the audition who put like 20,000 spices in his burger, and they were just like, ooh, like, ooh, this kid, he's a little joke, and he's not gonna make it. I thought it was him. I didn't even recognize him as Shane, but then when I put the puzzle pieces together, I immediately remembered, oh yeah, that is Shane. And he was definitely my second favorite contestant of season 5, with my first favorite being Jasmine, obviously, because she made a comeback. She made a comeback just like him. She was off the show, and she came back in a comeback episode. And a lot of these seasons, they don't even have comeback episodes. They don't even give the kids the opportunity to redeem themselves. And so the fact that she was able to come back and win the whole show was really, really cool. Now, Shane, he was a really, really good contestant. Like, he is one of the most memorable contestants out of both shows, because he really was a train. He was a powerhouse. And I really thought that he would win that season, and I really think that he has a good chance of winning this one, because although you have a lot of these other chefs who are very pretentious, They're very full of themselves. They're very, I don't know, they're just kind of like, I don't know, like you look at them and it's like, oh, they're really, really stressed out. And then you look at Shane and he's really cool and he's really relaxed and laid back and he's just having fun. But at the same time, you know that he has a drive that is really strong and powerful. And so I really hope that, I kind of hope, it would be, do you know how amazing it would be to see a finale of just two MasterChef Junior contestants? I would pay to see that. I would pay money to see a pay-per-view event, two MasterChef Juniors in the finale. So I'm really hoping that one of those two makes it to the finale, even though I do like a lot of the other contestants. And oh, I just remember one that I forgot. There was this one guy who came in and he made rabbit and donuts. And at first I was like, what the fuck? Like, what's up with that? But then I looked at the dish and I was like, you know what? That looks really good. And so I'm really saddened that I can't try that because I don't just, now I have a craving. So, please like this video, comment, tell me what you think about the upcoming season of MasterChef, and who's your favorite contestant, who's your least favorite contestant who came back, and then please subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more MasterChef reviews. Goodbye everybody, see you soon.